This is an explanation for the next few documents that you will see in the Nearpod. The first document that you are viewing right now is choosing a data collection method. So if you look in the column on the left-hand side, it is the type of behavior. So for example, in the first box in the column, it says the behavior does not occur that often. If you look to the right, then you will see the data collection method that makes the most sense for collecting for that behavior. So in this case, for the behavior that does not occur that often, you would maybe want to take either frequency data, rate data, or ABC data. You will notice that in some of the boxes for the data collection method, there really is only one specific type of data that can be collected, and in others there are multiples that you can choose from. When you are taking your EBP data, you are free to choose just one of those specific types, or if you wanted to do several different observations where you're doing different data collection methods to see which type of information you get the best information from, that's totally up to you. Moving forward, you will see in the next two slides that these are just examples and non-examples of where to get your credible and non-credible sources. As we talked about last week, PBIS World is not the best place to get information or to get credible sources for your interventions. Intervention Central is a place that you can get credible information and is a credible source. Moving on, you will see here that there is Maslow's hierarchy of school needs. We've talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but not necessarily in terms of what a student needs in their school day in order to be available to learn. So if you look down all the way at the bottom of the hierarchy, we have physiological. So the student's basic needs are met in terms of eating breakfast, has clean clothing, a safe place to go home, able to sleep. And then moving up to safety, making sure that the student feels emotionally and physically safe within school and your classroom. So having clear school and class routines, access to counselors, a nurse, feeling like it's okay to take risks within your classroom, making sure that they feel a sense of belonging. And then moving up, the next section of the hierarchy is belonging. So forming relationships. So making sure that there are adult role models, that they have friendship groups, that they have peer relationships, and that they really do feel like they are a part of the school and a part of your classroom. The next one up is esteem. So a positive classroom culture is present. So making sure that you are giving them positive feedback, making sure that you're giving them time for reflection, and encouraging them to take risks within your classroom. Once all of the four of those on the bottom of the hierarchy are met, then you are at self-actualization, where the student is available to learn and ready to learn in your classroom and in school in general. This last slide is another connection to theory. And if you look at the top, those are different stages that a student could be in. So remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. And then if you look underneath each one of those columns, so for example, remembering, these would be examples of behaviors that you would want a student to be able to evidence during your intervention. So they might be describing, naming, finding, listing, relating, or writing. And as you can see, it gets increasingly difficult. The skills get increasingly difficult. The behaviors or the verbs get increasingly difficult as you go along the spectrum. Whereas in remembering, you just have them describing or naming. If you go all the way over to create, you have them planning, inventing, composing. So it is much more complex. I hope this has been helpful to you. Please feel free to leave any questions that you have on the Flipgrid, and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.